everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make this super cool Evelena bracelet designed by Pastel Looms on Instagram. I will bring up her profile here in just a second. I'll make sure to have her name in the description box below so you can check her out on Instagram. But first I wanted to show you just this design. I really love this design. I think it's super nice, super neat, and pretty easy to learn. So here is Pastel Looms. So P-A-S-T-E-L-L-E and then Looms, L-O-O-M-S. I think I spelled that right. But this is her account. She posts a lot of really nice high quality pictures and some original designs as well. So definitely recommend checking out her account on Instagram and giving her a follow for me. And I'm going to show you how to make this today. So you're going to need a hook. I'm going to use my crochet hook here, a double-ended one. If you have one, that would be pretty nice to have. If you don't have one, though, you can still do it pretty easily. You are also going to need some bands and a C-clip up at the top. So for the bands today, I am going to be using gray for the penguin black in this bracelet, and then for the passion pink in this bracelet I will be using white, and then for the center chain of glitter white I will be using penguin black. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is take two of our gray bands, or our penguin black bands here. Take the first one and cap it on your hook. Take the second one and pull that cap in on. And then before you close, you're going to lift one loop of that cap band. You're going to hold that so that it doesn't slip off. And now you're going to take two white bands. Take your first white band and pull it through the first two loops, lifting the farthest one back up onto your hook, and then taking the second white one through the first two, lifting that farthest one back up onto your hook. And then what I like to do is just simply switch this around. So you should have 5 loops here, 4 of which are white, 1 of which is gray. And you're going to take this gray loop off and lift the other end of that cap band. Again, taking 2 white bands, you're going to pull the first one through the first 2, lift the farthest one from your hook, then again taking your second white band through the first 2 and lifting the farthest one. So now you should have 8 loops on your hook. And what we're going to go ahead and do is grab one of our penguin black bands now. You're going to pull it through the center 2, but I'm going to pull mine through the first 5, and then I'm going to lift those outer 3. And when you put this on, you're going to want to just move these outside 2 bands to the outside. You're going to leave this white one crossed over on the inside. Make sure that the white one is crossed over the black band. Okay, so now once you've done that, what you're going to go ahead and do is take a gray band, and you're going to pull this gray band through the first 3 loops. So through those first 2 white and the penguin black. Before you close, you're going to lift the penguin black and lift the outside white band. So put it back on your hook, and then what you're going to do is take a white band now, and you're going to pull this white band through the first 2 loops, 1 gray, 1 white, and then you're actually going to take this 4th loop, which is the gray one, and flip it over the end of your hook. Make sure that you don't cross it with your, your penguin black band. Just kind of push it over the end of your hook, and also make sure you don't pull all 4 and then lift. You just want to pull through the first 2, then flip the gray one over. And then before you close, you're going to lift the far gray loop back up onto your hook. So now you should have something like this. And you're going to go ahead and switch this down to the other end of your hook, or turn it around. And you will have 3 bands here. You're actually going to want to take this white band here and pull it to the inside. Just like that. Cross it over the black band. Now you're going to take your gray band, if I can grab one. Pull it through the first 3 loops on your hook. Lift the first and the 3rd band, which is the penguin black and the farthest white. You're going to be making a fishtail on the sides. And you're going to take your white band, pulling it through the first 2 loops. And then what I like to do is just flip this gray one over the end, and then pick up that outer gray one. So now it's going to look something like this. It's going to be pretty tight at this point. Now what you're going to do is take another penguin black band. I kind of lost it, but I will find it later. Take another penguin black band and pull it through the first 7 loops. You should have 10 loops on your hook. You're going to pull it through the first 7. And you're going to keep those 4 middle loops on your band, and you're going to lift the outer 3. and you're going to rearrange those outer two. So it should look something like this now. You're going to have your white band again crossed over your black band, and this is where your sequence will start. So it's pretty much the same thing, but here from now on until you reach the end of the bracelet, this is what it's going to look like when you start. If you want, you can also pull this white band over to this side just so that it looks symmetrical. But we're going to take our gray band, pull it through the first 3 loops here. You're going to lift this penguin black band and the white band back up and onto your hook, just like this. Now take your white band, pull it through the first 2 loops, then flip this gray over the end of your hook and lift the farthest one. So now you should have something like this. We're going to go ahead and turn this around. Again, taking your gray band, make sure that your bands stay crossed. You're going to pull it through the first 3 loops, lifting the first and the third. Taking a white band here, pull it through the first 2, and lift the gray band over. And then lift that outer gray band. Again, it's going to be stretched in the middle. And once you've done that to both sides and you have 10 loops, you're going to take your penguin black band and pull it through the first 7 bands on your hook, but you're going to keep the center 4 and just lift the outer 3. And now you're going to want to have your white bands again crossed into the center, just like so. And you're going to do this until it reaches the length of your wrist. Now, to finish this off, it's really simple. You have 8 loops, but you probably are going to want to pause the video or rewind to replay the steps to make this bracelet long enough to fit your wrist, because right now I'm going to show you how to finish it off. So in order to finish this off, what I'm just going to do, I have my 8 loops here. I like to cross them even though it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to take my gray band, just one of them, pull it through all 8 loops on my hook, and reattach. So now I have all 8 loops on one band, and I like to keep those white ones in the middle of the black one if I can, even though they will slip around if you mess with them. But yeah. So, I know it's just a little bit of a bracelet, but this is what it will look like when you finish it. So, that is going to do it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe. I will have Pastel Loom's name in the description box below, so make sure to check her out on Instagram and give her a follow for me. And that is all I'm going to have for this video, so I hope to see you next time.